So if you've been online at all recently, you've probably seen it. This thing called the Waterblitz.
Oh, it's impossible to miss. The ads are everywhere.
Exactly. And the promise is pretty incredible. It's this cheap little attachment for your garden hose that claims to give you 15 times more pressure.
Right. Professional cleaning with no motor, no pump. It sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, that's what our deep dive is for today. We've got a pile of consumer reviews, some technical breakdowns, and website ratings to figure out if this is a genuine breakthrough or just, some really clever marketing.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with the biggest question. How can a little nozzle create that much power from, well, basically thin air?
Yeah, that's the core problem, and it's where we have to bring in a little physics.
The physics hammer.
Right. I mean, a real pressure washer, one that actually works, needs a motor and a pump. It uses electricity to generate hundreds of watts of power.
And that energy is what creates the pressure.
Exactly. The Waterblitz is just a nozzle. It can shape the water stream, make it faster, by forcing it through a smaller hole. Like when you put your thumb over the end of a hose.
Oh, right. So you get a faster jet of water.
A faster jet, but you haven't magically created more pressure. You're still working with whatever pressure your city water provides. You can't just multiply it.
So if the device physically can't do what it claims, then what about those videos? They look so convincing, blasting grime off of concrete in seconds.
Well, that's where it gets pretty deceptive. Several reviewers we looked at came to the same conclusion.
Which is?
They suspect those polished ads were filmed using actual electric pressure washers.
Oh, wow. So they're not even using their own product in the ad.
It looks that way. They're selling you the result of a heavy-duty machine while, sending you a simple nozzle.
Okay, so that's a huge red flag on the physics side. But what about the people who've actually bought it? What are the consumer reports like?
If the physics was the first red flag, this is definitely the second. Once you step outside their own website, the feedback on places like Trustpilot is overwhelmingly negative.
Really? What are people saying?
The common theme is that they just received a regular hose nozzle. Maybe it looks a bit fancy, but it just delivers the same pressure they already had. No grime blasting power.
And I'm guessing the website itself has some issues.
A lot of them, yeah. Scam Advisor gave it a really low trust rating. They pointed out that it's a new domain, the company ownership is hidden, all the classic signs of a risky store.
That kind of setup usually points to, crazy markups on a cheap product.
You're spot on. We found very similar looking products on sites like Alibaba. They're sometimes sold as a high-pressure pistol or something like that.
So it's probably drop shipping.
It's highly likely. They buy it for a few dollars and then resell it to you for, 5, maybe 10 times the price?
So when people realize they've just paid $50 for a glorified hose nozzle, what happens when they try to get a refund?
That's where the frustration really sets in. The reports describe a really difficult, confusing process.
Like what?
People getting offered only a partial refund. Or, and this is the worst part, being told they have to ship the item back to some vague overseas return center.
Wait, so you have to pay for expensive international shipping just to get a fraction of your money back?
Pretty much. It's a tactic to make you just give up.
That feels so predatory.
It is. When you put it all together, the impossible claims, the bad reviews, the shady website, the return policy, the sources all agree this is a very high-risk purchase.
So for you, the listener, what's the takeaway here? If you're still tempted, I guess you need to manage your expectations.
Massively. And please, use a secure payment method. A credit card or PayPal gives you a path to dispute the charge when it turns out to be, a $10 nozzle.
Right. That's your only real protection.
And that kind of brings us to the final thought here. The pattern is so clear. They advertise something that defies basic science. They promise incredible power without any actual energy source.
So the next time you see a product promising a miracle result, without a motor, without a battery, without a pump, just remember the Waterblitz. Thinking about where the energy comes from might be your best defense against shiny marketing.